I'm Kasey Stone with Clerestory Design. We are still here in Little Washington at the Fowle house. We have been working here for a few months renovating the kitchen and a few other spaces in this home that was built in the late 1920s. And the kitchen is finally coming together. We are working on the little details. Hey y'all, so it is a Saturday morning. I'm over here right by myself. I am in working clothes. I got a working look going on. Do you remember like months ago when I told you I had to do some work on this chimney? Well, as you can tell, I haven't done it yet. And we're at the 11th hour. The countertop should be coming any day now. And I want to get this work done before the countertops go in. So I have a few ideas. I'm going to put down some plastic and some cardboard to protect the cabinets. I'm going to tape off the ceiling, so hopefully we don't get too much dust on our freshly painted white ceiling. And I have a few other tricks up my sleeve to try to get the dust to a minimum, keep the dust to a minimum. So I'm going to get to work on my prep work, and then we'll see how we do at sanding that chimney. Okay, so we got the prep work done, plastic everywhere. I was gonna use cardboard, but it seems like the plastic is covering good. So I've got all the things I need, masks, hats, safety glasses. One of the things that I'm gonna do is while I am scraping, this is not Windex, I use the bottle, it's water. I'm gonna spray the chimney. Hopefully that will keep the dust down. And I have a shop vac. So if I spray and scrape while holding a shop vac, hopefully I won't breathe in too much dust and we won't get fallout all over the house. So here we go. Let's get to scraping. Okay, so it's working, but it's working slow. A lot of elbow grease. If you're wondering why I'm not using the grinder, originally I had made a video using a grinder and it was making too big of a mess, and it was also going a little deeper on the brick than I wanted to. So we're starting with these brushes. It's coming off pretty good. I mean, there's some big chunks that I'm probably gonna need a chisel for. So I thought, well, let's do the easy stuff first and then come back and tackle the hard stuff. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna get back to work. Okay, so it's going pretty good. All the plaster is coming off easy because that's just plaster. Some of this is mortar, and I like the mortar on. So my goal has kind of changed. My goal is to get all the plaster off, and then I'm just getting off anything that's loose. You obviously don't want this to continue to crumble in your kitchen. So we're gonna get it as loose as we can, get all the loose off, I should say. And then I'm gonna let the homeowners look at it. And if they're happy with it, we'll leave it. They may want to seal it, or we may need to keep scrubbing. So I'm gonna take a break, and then in a little bit, I'm gonna get back. It's just a lot of elbow grease, but it's coming along. Okay, so as you can see, it's all been rubbed down. It's super dusty now. So what I'm gonna do next is get the shop vac, get as much dust as I can off, and then I'll probably wipe it down and then reassess. So let's get the shop vac out. All right, so as you just saw, I used the shop vac and took all the plastic off. The plastic was a good call because that plastic was heavy and wet and ugh. So that was a good call. We didn't get all of it off by any means, but I'm gonna stop here because I like it. Now, there's black in some places. There's a lot of black on that far side, and that's soot. So what I'm either gonna need to do is bring over some soap and water or maybe some uric acid and see what I can do to get that off. But since the shop vac is here, and since I told you they're coming with countertops any day now, by nature of it being a kitchen and being a construction site, all these drawers are full of dust. So I'm going to clean them all out. Nobody else should be working over here between now and when the countertops get set. So all of our drawers and cabinets will be nice and clean when they go in. All right, so I got it all cleaned up. We are ready for countertops, and the homeowners will actually be here tomorrow. So I'm gonna let them take a look at the chimney and see what they think. I think a little before and after, I think the chimney looks much better. Me, not so much. I look like I've been scrubbing a chimney. But I'm pleased with how it turned out. Hopefully they will be too, and if not, we'll see what else we need to do to it. Stay tuned. All right, I told you that we were expecting countertops any day, and I just found out that they will be here tomorrow. So I swang by to make sure that the faucets were out, the sinks were ready to go, and I wanted to show you that we finally got the last of the crown up. You remember we could not do the last of it until we replaced that refrigerator panel, but it has been replaced, and we've got that crown finished. All right, exciting news. As I promised, the stone is here. The island is in place and that piece is in place. No, it's not down yet. It's not sealed or anything, but it's kind of dirty, but it looks so good. So good. I don't know if you can see, we might need more light, but there's just that little bit of metallic in there. This looks great. That over there, so much counter space over there. It's great. I think I told you, but that we are gonna wrap this in beadboard that is finished to match the cabinets. And we're just waiting until all the floor sanding is done. But this piece is in, that piece is in. We have our dishwasher piece in. That's always important so that your dishwasher doesn't tip every time you open it. All right, bring on more pieces. So they cut the sink holes at the manufacturing location, but they do little touch-ups and drill faucet holes on site. So this is actually the piece where the kitchen sink is, and they're cleaning up that edge a little bit, and then that'll get placed in the kitchen. And there it goes in place. All right, so I think, judging from size, it looks like the next one that's coming in is the L-shaped one that's gonna go from the range into that corner and then in front of the brick. So here it comes. Let's see if I've judged the right puzzle piece. All right, it's in place. And we gotta make sure everything allows for the right spacing where we need it. All right, good news and bad news. The good news is this piece fits so good. Let's look at how it's like right up to the brick. Once we caulk that, and this might shove a little bit more. I mean, that looks so good. We've got exactly 30 inches that we need there, so our range will slide in. All of that is good news. Bad news. This piece did not make it. Apparently they cut 2 jobs out of this material today, and that piece went on the wrong truck. So we're gonna have to wait until next week for that piece to come. They're bringing in that piece and then it'll all be here. You guys remember when they were using the grinder on this piece and they ground some holes. See if y'all can see them under there. They almost look like little bow ties. So what that is for is when they put this sink in, the clips will mount up in there. So they'll use both an adhesive and a clip to hold these undermount sinks in place. So I hear them grinding out there. I bet they're doing the same thing for the sink that's going to go in the wet bar. Yep. That's exactly what they're doing. All right, the last piece that's here is in place. The same situation. Here's that sink. The sink hole was cut ahead of time. They have marked the center and drilled the faucet hole in place. And what we decided to do here, because obviously we're not going to tile this, they have brought us a tiny little backsplash that's going to fit just under that piece of siding. So I think that's going to give this a finished look since we're not tiling the backsplash. Got that backsplash on back here. Now, normally I would never do a granite or quartz backsplash. I always tile a backsplash, but like I said, we couldn't tile this siding. So we got that little piece, and of course there's a caulk line that looks terrible. They just did that. We will touch that up with our wall paint. We've got this great little bar sink, which is good. So a nice little wet bar. Love this little space. Okay, guys, I thought we were wrapping up that week, but I decided to hold over and show you a little bit more of a second week. Because do you see what I see? The rest of the countertops are in. So let me show you how the whole room turned out. All right, our missing piece is in. It was from, there's a seam there and there. It was put in place. Everything has been set. Our sink is set. Our seams are amazing. You can barely see them. There's one. We got a silicone bead all the way around that chimney so you won't get crumbs down in there. So, but all in all, the countertops are in and they look great. Okay, so that's a wrap on a good, let's call it a week and a half. It was a little bit more than a week. We started working on that chimney. We've gotten our countertops in, a little bit of trim details. Can't wait to get rid of this red because it's killing this room. Well, there we go. We'll cover that red up. So come back next week. I don't know what we're going to be working on. We've got a little bit of outdoor work to do, and we've actually added a little bit of interior work to the project. So we'll be doing one or the other, depending on the weather. Come back soon. Make sure you're subscribing so you don't miss a step in the renovation of the Fowle house.